Follow me.
Are you two fighting?
I'll deal with you later.
Look, Steve, I know we both like her, and you're angry and embarrassed, but leave her out of it.
You think that's what this is about? Shit, Ned. What has that bulldyke been telling you?
All right, I'm gonna warn you now. Be a gentleman.
What are you doing here? I thought all you interns ran out on me.
I want to help you find that shark.
God damn it. Thank you, intern. You're getting an A.
His name's Nico.
Who?
Hello, Vikram.
Give me that camera. I'm gonna smash it over your head. Cut! I misread you, man. I'm gonna have to rethink some shit.
You don't know me. You never wanted to know me. I'm just a character in your film.
It's a documentary. It's all really happening.
Well, damn you for that.
Go to bed, you sons of bitches.
Welcome to Flyby Films. Once or twice a month, using the magic of distance-defying tubes or some shit like that, we get together to discuss films that either have been or will be forgotten. Well, you can toss out that term films on today's episode. I'm Blake Collier, and sitting next to me in this tiny little box, it's a black box, kind of like on an airplane that's gonna crash. It's kind of sums up our podcast quite well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is my friend and co-host Jamison Barsodi. On this episode, we are going to talk about not a film, but 3 episodes of a TV show called How To with John Wilson. Is that right? Is it John Wilson?
Yes, it's John Wilson. And Blake,
Let me add something random
3
about
films.
this.
Okay, yeah.
Let me add something random about this, okay? Because that's what the intro sheet says.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It can't just be, cock blocking me here. What is something random? These are interesting short films. We'll say that. How about short films? They're like novellas for TV.
Perfect.
It's like they've got a face for radio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jamison, how have you been?
I'm fine. I was just setting expectations for if you were going to let me live down choosing. We don't have to decide that yet, but just try to set expectations, I guess.
Set what kind of expectations?
Well, if you were going to continue to call them TV shows, which they are, but
and they're in a series, they're in a season, they're in installments in a row.
But
what is TV, Jamison? What is film?
Do we want to talk about that at the beginning?
Yeah, I think we should, because it needs to be clarified at this point.
What is podcast? I don't know. I don't think anyone knows.
No one knows except for us, because we are the only ones who understand the true nature of podcasting, which is just a field recording of people talking.
Exactly.
People try to shine it up. They try to shine it up real nice with good production and shit like that. But you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter, because it's just field recording of people talking.
Well, and all the shiny stuff just causes a risk of it breaks.
Yeah.
It breaks your thing. Like Zencastr here. Got too shiny and
got too shiny and now it's shit. And that's why we will never, no matter how popular our show gets, we will never not be shit.
No matter how much our listeners demand us to not be shit. We're going to resist that.
Mhm.
And that's our promise to you.
And
That's our promise.
maybe one day, in our wildest dreams, people will pay us to be shit. I mean, that's the American dream, right? Like the true American dream.
I
The
mean, I
Americans
think
are already pretty good at being shit.
yeah,
So now we just got to get paid for it,
that's true. All right, Blake. I think I'm done ad-libbing because I don't think I can do anymore. Um, how are you? Or
uh,
did you ask me that? I don't know. I'm tired.
it
Thir-
doesn't really matter. It
Thursdays are
doesn't.
long. Yeah, are
Nothing
long
matters
days for
anymore.
me. Yeah.
You
I
know, film
just
podcasts, doing TV shows with podcasts on them. What is a thing anymore?
I really broke your brain with this pick, didn't I?
Sheep's lying down with their lions and shit like that.
Yeah.
um, no, I've been doing pretty well. I am exactly 10 days away from baby number 2. Uh, it's been a long road. I, being the one who's suffered the most during this pregnancy, need to notate the fact that it's been just really rough for me, and specifically uh, just my ability to do things.
Blake,
Um,
have you been going into your weekly doctor's appointments to check if your body is breaking down because of how much stress it's been under?
oh yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times. Sometimes I go in twice a week just to
Okay.
make sure. I don't want my dingus falling off or anything like
Yeah.
that. So.
Don't, don't want that. That's yeah. I mean, I think you're at
Of
risk
course,
of
I'm just kidding. My wife is easily suffering the most of the two of us, and Seamus is probably a close second because he knows shit's about to go down and he doesn't know how to deal with it because he's only 2.5 years old. He barely understands his own feelings. So,
how prepped is he for like a baby brother?
oh, he calls him by a name my wife doesn't like. Uh, well, not she's going between two names, and she likes the fullness of one, but she doesn't like the first name all that much.
Hmm.
And she likes the fullness of the second, but likes the first name a lot more. And so she constantly gets Seamus to try to say the second name, and he always ends up calling it the first name.
So you guys are 10 days out and the name
Mhm.
is still there's a
There's
question
there's
mark.
two there's two names, various versions of them, but two names. Do you want me to disclose this? It's not a secret.
I mean, I
We could make this a Flyby Films exclusive.
ooh, this is yeah, do it.
Okay,
But
so
let's take
okay,
because how Spotify counts listens is if it it's at least 60 seconds of airtime. So what I think we should do is we should try to make this as annoying as possible and extend it out and then have you reveal the two names.
why don't we do just like we did that one time when we were talking about that band and we didn't name it until like the last second before the podcast was over.
That's a great idea.
That way,
Except,
people have to listen to the full podcast.
well, no, they're just going to skip to the end. So what we should do is we should reveal it
Hit
like
it somewhere.
5 minutes, 5 minutes before the end, or some shit like that, and then just
Or just
like
hide it
go on.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
I
I'm good
like
with
this
that.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just at
We are
any
not going
point
to give any idea when it's just going to happen. It's going to happen, and you won't be able to shift knowingly
Blake,
to
I
when
give
it's
you
at.
permission tonight as we're talking cut me off at any point and just throw that information
All
in.
right. All right. You got it.
All
You
right.
got it. That's how it's going to work. So yeah, 2 days out. Yes, that's how I am. I'm terrified / excited. Terrified because I don't know what it means to have 2 kids. Excited because I don't have to work for 3 weeks.
Hey, I mean, I know, like, whenever you talk to people, they're going to be like, oh, it's not a vacation. It's not a vacation. Okay.
It kind of is.
I get that, but like, it's, you're doing work, you're doing things, but you're also doing things you want to do.
Yeah.
Like,
And
work
for
doesn't,
people you actually love.
yeah, work doesn't suck because I am bad at it and I'm like feeling, you know, under tons of pressure and stuff like that all the time. It's because I don't actually believe in the like mission statement as wholeheartedly as they expect me to, right?
Yeah.
Like, and
Exactly.
that's the whole thing, is that you're like, I'm pouring this many hours into my job, and they, the illusion is that like you care about this big mission. No, the mission I care about is my son and my wife and like my
And getting a
life
paycheck so I'm not on the street.
outside of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so when you're taking like leave for parenting, um then you're getting to spend all those hours doing that stuff, which,
Yeah.
as exhausting as it is a big morale booster if you can kind of wrap your head in that way. So,
Yep. And getting paid for it.
yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like that if work could always be like that, like doing what you actually loved, not turning what you love into a business, because that's bullshit too. But doing what you actually love for no other reason than to do it and getting paid for it. Oh man, that's some good shit right there.
Yeah. Very good
True
shit.
story. True story.
And that's why the man will never let us do that.
That's why we all got to say fuck capital. Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Jameson, how have you been?
I've been all right. I'm pretty tired right now.
Thursdays are a long day for you. You
Thursdays
said
are
that.
long days, yeah. But I've been good. I'm going through 2 books right now. One of them is the Book of Strange New Things,
Yeah, yeah.
which
Weirdly,
Blake.
that's interesting that you've been reading that one, because weirdly enough, I've been reading the same book.
Yeah, yeah. How does that work out?
Synchronicity. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ghost in the Machine. I'm basically just naming Police albums at this point.
Roxanne. I know that's not. Oh man, that's not an album.
I mean, technically, it could be. It could be a 45. If we're talking vinyl.
Sure.
A single.
Yeah.
Come on. It's an album.
Are you enjoying that book?
Yes, I am.
Oh, nice.
Matter of fact, I've been enjoying it more than the last 2.
Okay.
By far. Which,
Yeah.
knowing the commentary that's been happening in our Discord chat, that puts me at odds with a good portion of the people.
I think a few people this week have come out to bat for it. I've read it before, so I'm trying not to talk too much about how I feel about it, because I don't want to set weird expectations for people.
Yeah.
But I liked it enough to read it again and agree to read it again. So, yeah, but this time around I'm actually listening to it. So, reading
Nice.
2 books right now is maybe a misnomer. But the other book I'm reading,
let's not
no,
let's not go into that battle.
Yeah, I mean, whenever that comes up, I like to say, "Oh yeah, well, are you reading it on a Kindle?" And then I like to say, "Well, maybe you're just downloading it with your eyes instead of actually reading it." So,
Yeah.
uh,
I
you know,
personally like to undress the pages with my eyes.
yeah, yeah. I'm also reading this book called Girdle Escher Bach and Eternal Golden Braid. I've also read this one before, but
Didn't we talk about this one last time about how
oh,
you were like so pissed off at mathematicians for being so far up their own ass uh, about some things, but then like what they get to finally is really freaking cool or some shit.
oh yeah, I guess I mentioned it. I don't know. It's
I mean,
such a long
it
book.
was fascinating stuff.
I'm
Math is
I'm
endlessly fascinating. I just don't know how to do it.
I'm gonna bring it up probably throughout the year because it'll take a while for me to read it. We're like
Sure.
100 pages in, and it's an 800-page book. So, and they're like big textbook pages too. It's not. It's really kind of a ridiculous work, but it's decent. There,
That's a stunning review. It's decent.
well, I
800
think
pages. It's worth your time. It's decent.
it's funny because when I read it before, I didn't know all of this stuff. Like I hadn't spent years of my life studying mathematics and learning kind of the history of mathematics and different things.
So you
Uh,
read this before you went into mathematics in higher
while
ed.
while I was kind of on that journey, but I
Gotcha.
wasn't like, a lot of this stuff was new to me. And then reading it now, I definitely have a different perspective, specifically on how he's introducing some of these concepts. And I'm
Hmm.
noticing, like, oh, it's kind of weird how you are talking about this because, you know,
Like
you're,
weird and fascinating, or weird and I'm not so sure that actually works.
well, I want to give him credit because, like, this book, it really brought these ideas to a mainstream audience for the first time, like
Hmm.
outside of math, outside of computer science, outside of all of these like very technical fields. And so he was doing something interesting in that regard, and he wanted to be very playful and stuff. But I think he has this, like, he's playful, it's fun, but he falls into this trap where mathematicians think that, like, there's this sense where everything kind of has the same latent value to it,
Hmm.
and you shouldn't put anything above anything else. um and it causes them to belabor every point so much that they don't really point out kind of the big ideas all the time. And he's trying to get to the big ideas, but when he kind of goes into a lot of things, he spends time on a lot of details and kind of spends too much time and gives you a sense that there's like more value in this idea than there actually is. And I see
Gotcha.
that a lot with mathematicians. And I mean, he probably would rewrite the book a different way now too, because he wrote it in his, like, when he was 32, and he's in his 80s now, or 70s, late 70s. So yeah.
Oh, so it's a fairly old book too.
Yeah, it was like 76. Oh
Okay.
man. Yeah, it's a classic, like, whatever that means to you. I recommend it. It's 79. I recommend it. It's a hard read if I mean, it's a hard read just because it's so big and bulky, but
Yeah.
if you're unfamiliar with some of the math stuff, it might take a little time to, like, settle in. It's not impossible. Definitely not.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
So are those the two main books you're reading right now?
Yeah, I have focus issues, so I'm actually, I usually just read one book at a time, but I'm trying. I read some blog post by Luke T. Harrington, who I don't know if he listens. That guy, but his brother is a favorite of the show. So
Yes.
I should
A
mention
long-time
that.
listener, first-time caller.
Yeah. Well, he's been a caller. I think we can consider him a caller.
Yeah.
But because he's been on the show, and if you haven't watched that episode, definitely watch that, where we subject him to a movie that he hates.
Definitely watch it.
What? Yeah.
Watch her smile. I mean, what even is a podcast?
What even is a podcast? What is a film podcast? Something you talk about TV on? I don't know.
Clearly, you do not see things when you listen to podcasts. It's like what's the thing where you hear noises or you hear sounds and you see colors?
Synesthesia.
Yeah, that's some bullshit, but it's kind of the same thing. I'm just kidding. I don't actually know if it's bullshit or not.
I have known a couple people who have claimed to be.
Yeah, I've known a couple people too. One was a choir director in my own church.
Okay, yeah. Oh, who have synesthesia?
Yeah,
or claimed to? Yeah, I don't know.
But he also was kind of full of himself, so you never know.
Yeah,
it could go either way. He's not going to see those.
Okay, sounds good. Blake, oh, I want to talk to you about this. I just remembered you have a connection coming to your church from Chico, California, right?
Yeah. I'm glad you put me on the spot because I cannot remember her name now. Allie Walker?
No. Allie. Is it Allie Wilson? Or am I just thinking of...
yeah, I think you're thinking of John Wilson.
I'm going to slide...
So someone is becoming a staff member at my church here in Tulsa, and she has moved here from none other than Chico, California, which is where my dear co-host Jamison Barsotti and his wife and child live.
Yeah, Allie Hawkins.
He is currently frozen in stasis. And so I'm going to vamp for a little bit until he returns. We'll see. But yes, she's coming here. Hopefully she will bring the good word to us. You never know. You just never know.
Blake.
Yeah. Oh, I vamped the whole time I saw you.
I think I could hear you, and we were still recording, but...
Oh man, this is bringing back good memories of those first few episodes where we had this happen like every single time.
I really think it's Zencastr, because we haven't really had this particular problem since we've been Skyping.
Yeah.
But did you hear...
I got the wild idea to do Zencastr tonight for some god-awful reason.
Yeah.
So here we are.
So it's Allie Hawkins. That's
Hawkins.
Who. Yeah. And yeah. And my wife knows her on Instagram somehow.
Does she know her?
No, I don't know. I think she's gonna reach out and be like, "Hey, person.
Hey, you."
Yeah, that's how I imagine it going. I don't know.
You got to be careful about how you address people these days.
This is true. This is true. But yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was cool.
No, it is cool. She helped serve the body and blood of Christ this last weekend. It was her first Sunday back in Tulsa. She was here apparently during beginning of COVID for like a few months, and then COVID caused them to have to move to California, and they ended up in Chico, and now they're back. So
Well, I guess we're sorry to lose Allie from such a wonderful city, but we're
I mean,
happy
I've
you
heard great
guys.
things about Chico.
It's it's great. It's great.
You know what
I
else is great?
what?
Tulsa. Nah, not so much Oklahoma. But if you're gonna live in Oklahoma, might as well be Tulsa.
You know, I want to spend more time in Tulsa.
Yeah.
I really haven't spent that much time in Tulsa. I've spent a
Mm.
couple days with you guys, but
At
I'd
two
love.
different times.
Yeah.
Which we have a tradition whenever the Barsodis come to the house. We always watch a really shitty movie.
Yep.
That's a thing.
Do you remember any of the movies we've watched?
I do. I believe one is called They Nest.
Oh
It's about
yeah,
a
I
bunch of
fell
squirrely
asleep for
dogs.
that one.
I fall asleep during both of them. Shut up.
No, I remember Tremors 5.
It's
No,
how you watch movies, Jameson. You see completely different films than anyone else. But then we saw Scanners 2.
Scanners 2. I thought it was Tremors 5.
Now, Tremors 5 would actually have been good because the Tremors
Yeah.
movies are amazing.
Yeah. No,
Doesn't matter how
Scanners.
shitty they are, they're always amazing.
I remembered that it was Scanners. I just accidentally called it Tremors. Um yeah, I couldn't remember. Are you sure it was number 2 or was it number 3?
I don't think that. I mean, it's possible it's 3. I just don't remember there being more than 2.
I never knew that there was more than one. I didn't know that like someone
Well,
was like,
that's why
"Oh,
we watched
scan."
it because you and
Yeah.
I both were like, "What?" We've both seen
Out of
Scanners. Most people have
yeah.
seen Scanners, but Scanners too.
I just think like Scanners, I guess it's true like thinking of all of the David Cronenberg movies, Scanners really does feel like the one that is best made for sequels.
Oh, I would have said History of Violence. Just kidding. That's a joke.
Weird. No, but I'm trying to imagine any other because I was like, oh, Scanners is such a weird choice, and it still is a weird choice
No.
for to try to
Cron-
make sequels off of.
Cronenberg movies being made into sequels is just generally speaking a bad idea.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
because Cronenberg is some like absolute brilliant genius, which I like him a lot, but it's just that his movies are so weird.
There,
Like
yeah.
you can't top the first one. Like as far as weirdness goes, you can make it shittier, but you can't make it weirder.
Also, I feel like his movies tend to end on either either a note of finality
Hmm.
or a note of I don't want to spend any more time in this world.
Yes, exactly.
It's one of those. And so I really don't feel like any of those lend themselves well to sequels.
Let's say I've never felt much of anything except for a deep depression after finishing a Cronenberg film.
Yeah. Yeah. But again,
But you
Scanners
know
is
what?
kind
Sign me up. Sign me up for number 2 of Scanners.
yeah. Scanners is kind of like a an X-Men movie in a weird way.
Yeah,
You have the similar mutant vibe, except everybody is Xavier. That's the
yeah.
only power that anyone
Yep.
has. Um,
And there's a
and
lot
so
more visceral violence,
yeah.
like heads exploding.
Well, I feel like there's not that much violence in that
No,
movie except
there's not.
for that one scene, but
Which
it was
was
enough.
which, if you've heard anything about the making of that scene, was a complete clusterfuck trying to get that scene to be shot correctly.
Well, it was worth it.
Yep.
Very, very much worth it.
How did we start talking about Cronenberg again? Oh, Scanners 2. Scanners 2.
Scanners too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that was the first time we met. Because y'all were going to
Yeah, we were
Virginia.
going to
Virginia?
Virginia.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Had a moment there where I was like, is that where William and Mary is at?
Yes.
So you were going to Virginia. We watched that one. And then whenever you came back from Virginia, we watched They Nest.
We watched They Nest.
Yeah. And you had 2 cats.
We brought both those cats. We still have those cats.
Yeah.
They're good. They're doing really well with Hazel too, which is awesome. He's kind of calmed down around them, so he's not like grabbing them a whole bunch, and he's kind of bored with them. I'm sure it'll come back when he like gets more mobile. He'll want to beat them up a little bit more,
Or scream at them like Seamus does with Atticus.
Yeah, but they've kind of developed a pretty normal relationship, and they love him. They come by him all the time, and they're very curious that there's this other person. So it's actually really cute. They're good cats for him. So
that's an ideal situation.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hope that continues for y'all.
Yeah.
Well, should we just get into it? I feel like there's a massive elephant in the room this whole time that we've been vamping, and it feels forced. I feel like we just got to get it out there. We just got to put the elephant on display. Second episode in a row where we cut the BS short. Get into it.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Okay, all right. Why? Why did you do this?
Why?
And this
why?
is completely separate from my feelings towards what I watched. Why?
Why? Why did I do this? Well, okay, so let's zoom back to Hazel was like a month old, and I was so I had purchased a video game that I was going to play while he was like sleeping, and I had to kind of be up. But then he would wake up pretty frequently, and sometimes we would have to rock and stuff. And so I would look for things to watch, and I landed on this documentary series. So this was back in December, called How To with John Wilson. And I noticed that that it was produced by our
show
good
favorite
friend of the podcast, Nathan Fielder. How can I twist friend of the podcast into a truthful statement?
No, he's a friend of the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't have to agree to it.
Yeah, it's a one-way friendship.
We would embrace him.
Absolutely. So it's produced by Nathan Fielder, and so that piqued my interest, and I watched it, and I gotta say, it's a little off-putting at first, right? This it's like this mixture of Mr. Rogers if it was made by Woody Allen.
Yes, that's actually not bad.
Yeah, and the conceit of the show is that this guy wants to learn to do something, and so he sets it up, and then he wanders around New York trying to answer this question of how you do this thing. So an example,
with the occasional rabbit hole here and there.
Occasional being meaning constant rabbit holes.
Yeah, exactly.
um, but the the questions are always very simple. Like, for example, the ones that we're going to be talking about tonight are how to make small talk and how to cook the perfect risotto or how to remember your dreams. So they always kind of start similar to that, and then then it kind of morphs into a documentary version of. Do you remember that series called Humans of New York?
Yes.
Yeah, so it kind of morphs into that, but he's always the one, pushing the show forward. He definitely is in control the whole time, and for better or worse. But you know, it's it's very easy to watch.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very soothing, and it's good late night stuff. And after you get like he's kind of a weird narrator. So again, think Woody Allen like narrating a documentary the whole time and trying to be as soothing as like a Mr. Rogers and failing miserably at that.
Miserable. Yeah.
Miserably
Yeah.
at that. But trying
Mhm.
to, and and it's off-putting at first, but once you get on that wavelength, it's fascinating and it gets in your head. There are moments of this show that have got in my head and stuck with me, and it's probably one of the best documentaries that I've watched in a while. And I consider it.
Wait, which one?
Oh, I mean, just the show as a project, as as a documentary.
Oh, are you saying that the whole show is one documentary?
Well, I think these episodes are actually like.
So basically, what you're telling me is that I didn't actually watch the whole documentary.
Well, it is finishing. Like, so I guess I didn't know
That's
this when
not
I chose.
helping me, Jamison. You basically set me up for failure here, bud.
I didn't want to ask you to watch, you know, 6 hours of TV.
I mean, I would have done it.
I guess
So,
that's true.
I'm just
I
saying.
mean, I don't doubt you. I don't doubt that you would have done it. I chose the three ones that I think are the best of it,
Gotcha.
and I think they fit together kind of nicely, and they are standalone, and I think that creates, I think if you watch those, you'll get a sense of if you want to watch more, and
Sure.
it works. It works as a nice feature length um,
About 90 minutes.
section. Yeah,
A little less than 90 minutes.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So here's a little secret that I didn't tell you. Going into this, I had watched the first half of Small Talk before, and I had shut it off because I couldn't quite figure out what was going on. And I think it was probably late at night, and I was like, I don't have the brain width for this right now. So, and I never went back to it until I got a Discord message from my friend Jamison saying, here's what I'm going to do for the next movie selection. I'm going to make you watch How to John Wilson. I'm going to make you watch these 3 episodes. And I was like, well, there goes the neighborhood.
There
Did
goes
it
the
because you
neighborhood.
said Mr. Rogers. And so I will say I understand why Nathan Fielder produces. It makes complete sense.
Okay.
It's awkward. There's a sense of uh, there's an authenticity that comes out in a bunch of really inauthentic things,
Mm-hmm.
which is all Nathan Fielder does. You know, Nathan for You, the rehearsal, all of it is like a bunch of fakeness, but these really interesting moments of authenticity hidden in the midst of it. And so,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or at least seeming authenticity with the rehearsal.
Sure.
Um, and so I can see how he thought it was of one piece. Um, I do not necessarily enjoy watching these,
Okay.
but that is not to say that I don't think that they have value because I actually enjoyed what he was trying to do. I just don't like Woody Allen.
Sure. Sure.
And so if he'd had maybe even if he'd had a different voice, I think I might have been on more of the wavelength. But man, you are spot on with the Woody Allen comparison because even his voice is just high anxiety the whole time. And oof, it was tough. But I ultimately got something out of it.
Yeah, and
So
I'm not going to I'm not going to defend that bit of the show.
yeah.
And uh, I think you know, going into it, I don't know if I would tell someone that like, oh, he's kind of got this annoying drawback because it hits you immediately and you're like, "Oh, is this what I signed up for?" And then, then you can decide that. But,
Yeah.
obviously I still think that there's quite quite a valuable, pearl
Oh
there,
yeah.
even underneath all of that. But
And there are
yes.
truly moments of hilarity every so often. Like
Well,
I can't tell you like the one that comes to mind right off the bat is how to do small talk when he goes to the resort and he's at the concert
yeah.
and the security people and it shows the footage of him looking looking at all the cameras and they're like telling him that he can't be looking at the cameras during the filming of the MTV concert.
Yeah, so he finds himself, just so
Yeah.
randomly
Yeah.
at MTV Spring Break in Cancun, and then, he embeds himself. He always has his camera on. At least, that's the idea
That's
is
it.
that
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
and so he's at this show, and um and like Blake said, the security guards have to talk to him and say like, you need to stop looking behind you or else we're gonna have to move you. And
But
then
it wouldn't have been so funny if it hadn't been showing those moments.
yeah, and then he grabs the MTV footage and he highlights himself in that, and you just see him like looking back, and you like totally understand how off-putting it is. So it is really funny, and this is like one of the things that really strikes me about about this show, which it I guess we can get into like this later, like what rules of documentary is it following to actually be a documentary. But like uh there's so much editing at play with that plays with his narration. He'll like be talking about something, and then they'll show like a lineup of street signs that are kind of giving similar descriptions of what he's talking about. And he'll be talking about more things, and you'll see people interacting in that way, and there's such a good visual humor um to everything that I just find that delightful.
Well, it was good that moment of hilarity happened because that episode really ends on a downer.
Yeah, yeah,
Talking
that's
to the
true.
dude at the resort about his friend dying and how he had to come out there to like deal with it. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, okay, well, when and I know what he's doing there. He's like saying that ultimately, on some level, small talk is meaningless. Like you don't actually get to know anyone, and it's just a thing people do to avoid like intimacy of any sort.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's an avoidance technique more than it's
Yeah.
a thing that you need to be good at. It's not it's not actually a good social thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he talks about it like a, I think he calls it like a social lubricant
Yeah.
at one point, and I think as soon as you just accept that, then you don't need to revel in it. So yeah, I think the metaphor of like MTV's, well, I guess it's more than a metaphor because he's actually there,
Yeah.
but of this basically like festival dedicated to small talk, in a
Hmm.
way. He talks about it being a place where you just have vapid connection, and that's
Hmm.
the idea.
And how
um
they are the kings and queens of small talk. That
yeah,
they can turn it on and shut it off and turn it on and shut it off and have no consequences from it.
yeah, but then, it's so interesting to me because I feel like if someone like John Wilson was coming up to me and just constantly trying to talk to me, I'd be like, "You are very strange. Get away
Yeah.
from me."
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's what he does, and he ends up endearing himself to this guy, and yeah, they have a real heart to heart, and it's pretty awkward too because,
Hmm.
and it's not just this guy kind of being a goober, but
Yeah.
it's like John Wilson is also a really awkward interviewer.
And he's
He
also kind of lying to get at the non small talk. Like when he talks about his cat dying, his
well,
cat died or whatever it was.
I think he
Well, his cat was
says
alive.
when he was a kid, he's talking about
Oh, was he
his,
talking about the cat dying when he was a kid?
yeah, he was talking
Oh,
about a situation. I mean, I don't know if he's lying. Maybe.
yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
it is produced by Nathan Fielder, so
that's true, and the whole documentary aspect is, the whole like setup is that it's this guy who's collected all this footage and he's putting it together, but even that's, a little bit of a lie. It's a mistruth because
yeah.
he has a whole team of people to grab some of these things too.
Oh yeah.
So there was I read an interview where they talked about that. He's like, yeah, you know, I don't always have all of this footage just lying around. I'm not just,
Yeah.
constantly, he does, I think he does kind of constantly have his camera on and out. And that's maybe where the idea started. But
You don't do shit like this and get HBO money without a group of people behind it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's funny because I thought it was interesting in this interview that I read. He was talking about how his team like can't like shut off their brain for this stuff because he like sends them out on scavenger hunts, like
Hmm.
find a house that looks like a face. And so they'll like go and do all of that, and they'll film all of these things on the scavenger hunt, and then they can't like switch that off after the show, is done.
Yeah.
So they'll like send pictures, they have these group chats where they do these things, and they, you know and I think that's fun. Actually, uh it reminded me of like when I was um in Korea last year. They, where I was, they just had a lot of little like guys painted just little like figures everywhere, and there was almost this animism about different things, and it's kind of fun to do that. You see a tree that looks like something, or a scene that's not really there. I love seeing that type of stuff in the world. So
Yeah.
So
No. I'm just
what?
kidding. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were going to cut me off
No.
for a second. No.
Oh, I mean, I did cut you off for a second.
Yeah. Was there an episode that you liked, I guess, more? I mean, his voice is throughout,
Yeah.
so sure.
I mean, I think I wish I'd gotten a chance to watch the Dream one again, because it's the one I remember least of the three. But I think the risotto one is my favorite. Just because of this weirdly endearing relationship he has with his quote unquote landlady, which who knows if that's a real thing or not.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
Whatever. But I just found that one had, like, even though there's that moment wherever she goes to the hospital, like, outside of that, it's probably the happiest of the three. As far as from moment to moment, there are a couple of scenes where, clearly COVID has entered the picture. And then she goes to the hospital and she's had a stroke. But outside of those things, like, she's fine by the end of it. He finally just cooks risotto, whether it's good or not, and puts it on the stairway for her, and she takes it. And for those who haven't seen this, like, it starts out with the reason why he's wanting to learn how to make the perfect risotto is because it's his landlady's favorite food, and she does so much for him, including his laundry, including picking individual pieces of trash out of his trash can so he doesn't have to waste money on plastic bags.
Trash bags, yeah.
And so she once told him that her favorite food is risotto. And so he's on a search to find how to make the perfect risotto. And he comes to the conclusion it doesn't fucking matter. You just make the risotto before the person dies so they can enjoy it. That's pretty much what it is.
And that's a good lesson.
And did Jamison hear any of that? Who knows? Because he froze again. Zencastr, this is probably the last time we'll be using Zencastr. Is he back?
I'm back.
Ah, yes. Did you hear any of that or all of it?
I heard. I didn't realize that that I was frozen until you were almost all the way done with describing the episode. So I heard most of it.
Beautiful. That's all that matters. I vamped a little bit after that, but that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, that episode, How to Make a Perfect Risotto, is I like that takeaway that you described, which is just like, you can practice and you can, you could try to perfect your technique. You could watch, videos of famous chef. Yeah, all you want, but you just got to make risotto, and that's that's what people want to do. They want to share meals with you. They like that. And that episode is just great. It's like he perfect place, perfect time type situation where where there's twists and turns that he couldn't have planned on. So but yeah, it turns out literally
couldn't have planned.
But I do really love the Dream one, because
and if you talk about it more, it might jog my memory a little bit.
Yeah. So I think that one gets to a really beautiful place with the Avatar group.
Yes, that's right. Yes, the
So
Avatar group.
this episode starts out with him trying to figure out how to remember his dreams. And um and then he talks to people about this. He, kind of tries to do a dream journal, and then
Gets him in
he
trouble with his girlfriend.
it gets him in trouble with his girlfriend because he writes down a dream that he had about an ex, and she sees it. And then uh, but he thinks he, comes to this idea that dreams are these, avatars for us. And and he talks about how he's a documentarian and doesn't, like to live in fantasy worlds and things like that. And it actually shows footage of how, I guess, when he was younger, one of the things that he would do with his friends is make mock court cases so they could get on court TV, um, which I think is really just really funny because that's completely made up. That's a fictionalized thing, but
Yeah.
also, like, if you think like, oh, why would you, why would you cross the, we all think of these court dramas or court TV as truth. Why would you kind of poison the well with, fake things? But they're fake anyway,
Yeah, all of it's
so
fake.
it's all fake, so it's actually not doing any harm to make up these
It's
stories.
it's reality TV before reality TV was popular.
Yeah, yeah. And so he talks about how he doesn't like the fantasy world and he's never really got it, and so he goes into a comic store to, learn more about it, and he meets these people who are really into James Cameron's Avatar comics and
And
and,
movie.
and movie, and everything is as goobery as you would think, and you know it's almost to the point where it's cringy at first because, you know it's a silly movie, and this is taking it to another kind of silly extreme. But then he gets invited to a watch party with people, and he goes there, and I have to admit, I'm watching this, and I hate the movie Avatar, and I'm judging. They're having like a language
Yeah.
session. Like, they have
Yeah.
like a whole session where they talk about the language. They do, the diagrams where they break apart all the words and stuff, and they watch the movie. And I'm feeling like, oh, these people are goobery. And credit where credit's due, John Wilson doesn't he just keeps filming, and he
Yep.
doesn't look away. He doesn't, he interacts with them, but he's not judging them. And they open up to him in an amazing way. And they talk about how, like, this group is just an excuse for friends. Like, and
Yeah.
yeah, they love this movie. They love it more than I can ever imagine someone loving something, but they're lonely individuals who've found a community. And
Hmm.
I think what I was like watching it for a while, and I was like, okay, this is something that you can leave on. But it was that episode that really, like, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is
Yeah.
cool. Like, and I think that cast everything else in in this glow where I'm like, oh, I want to go back and watch these things. And there's all these little details. So that one is my favorite episode. But
No, that makes sense. And now that I have a recollection of the episode better now, I was waiting for the anchor. There's always an anchor in those episodes. If I can remember the anchor, then I can remember the rest of the episode. But I could not, for the life of me, think about what the anchor was on the Dream episode until you said Avatar, and it, boom, opened it wide open. I still haven't seen the movie Avatar because I
Oh,
don't
the
like
first
James
one?
Cameron. No,
Oh,
haven't seen it. No, will not see it more
lucky.
than likely.
Lucky you.
Uh, but yeah, man, it's so, as someone who tends to have a lot of hot takes about stuff that people love, um, people never believe me when I say that, like, I can be vicious towards something and not care if you like it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Uh, If you get enjoyment out of it, wonderful. I don't. It doesn't bother me. I think it's trash, but that shouldn't take away from your enjoyment of it. um,
I
and
think
so,
everybody secretly has like a hope that Blake will like the thing that they like and approve of it. So,
yeah, yeah. I wish I was that powerful. I don't really think I have that much prestige in the world. I mean, it'd be cool if I did. I'd probably misuse it. That's kind of how it works. But yeah, I find myself in spaces where I'm like, if you can create a community of people that can open up in such depth around something that I find to be trash, then it's not without value. Uh, and I'm not one of those people that says that something I don't like has no value whatsoever. No, I just don't get any value out of it. That's what criticism is. Ultimately, it's what value you can take from it. So, um, but I mean, everyone has their thing. I love Carly Rae Jepsen. Everyone is surprised when they hear that I like Carly Rae Jepsen because it seems so. It's mainly because I'm anti Swifty, and who better to stick it to Taylor Swift than being a Carly Rae Jepsen fan, right? Am I
do they
right?
have a beef?
Not really, no.
Oh,
But I feel like if you're thinking about like pop sensations, you're pretty much dealing with those two. Like as far as like in the world of pop music, there's really not two bigger names. Now, clearly Taylor Swift is bigger and
who?
makes more money, but she also has one of the planes that pollutes the most. Private plane that pollutes the most. And you know what Carly Rae Jepsen does? She's a fucking normie and takes the public airlines.
Wow. Hey, Blake, do you
Yeah,
really want to start some shit? Who
yeah,
is
I do.
who is the bigger pop star, Beyonce or Taylor Swift?
Beyonce, hands down. Better pop star, bigger pop star, better singer, better artist, hands down, Beyonce.
I have a Beyonce hot take.
Okay,
There was I don't know any
I've
of
got one
these.
too, so
I don't
but I want to hear yours first.
I don't know any of these people. I don't know, like, I know who they are, but other than like the Shake It Off song, I don't know any other Taylor Swift songs. And people think I'm joking. I've never heard them. I just have somehow avoided them. Carly Rae Jepsen, it's a similar thing. I know Call Me Maybe. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Sure.
Beyonce, I don't know if I know any of her new stuff. I remember Destiny's Child, and I
And you
know
know, Crazy in Love.
Single Ladies, Crazy in Love. I don't know if I know that one.
That's the one that has Jay-Z. featured on it. Come on now, bro. It's Jay-Z.
Is that I think I know that one. Yeah, okay. But my knowledge of these songs is really spotty. And I know Beyonce has this really famous, well-received album called Lemonade. I'm not here to degrade it, except I did hear one song on it that was played. I don't know. I don't even know where it was played. It was played over like a video or something. And I thought it was a fucking Christian worship song. And
that's because it has those moments.
I kid you not, it wasn't any better or any worse. I think that's a bad thing. I can't understand why anyone would say this person is the greatest songwriter of our generation.
Yeah.
But, I guess maybe she is, but maybe people just don't have very high expectations of what their art should be. So,
Maybe so.
I don't know.
So that's a good hot take. That's
That's
basically a general flattening of a whole genre of music. Hot take. I like it. It was almost like dropping a bomb and just letting it destroy everything.
Yeah.
My hot take on Beyonce is that she only had one good album, and it was Lemonade.
Oh. Well, it's a good album minus whatever song that I listened to, because that was terrible.
If it's the one I'm thinking about, it's the worst song on the album.
Are there more worship songs on the album?
No, not really. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
and part of it is that she had like good producers on it, like Jack White.
Yeah, Jack White. I think there. I remember reading
But
about
then again,
how
Jack White also produced an Insane Clown Posse track, so
aren't they all from Michigan?
Detroit.
Yeah. So you know what? That I don't think I care for Insane Clown Posse, but that collaboration gets a pass from me. Like, I don't
I've got
need to
mad
listen
respect.
to it.
Jack White, in my opinion, and I have a high opinion. I've seen him live. He's great. He's a great musician. My opinion of Jack White is that he's the Christopher Walken of music production. He just doesn't give a shit.
That's
He's
good.
like, you want me to produce your shit? Cool, I'll do it.
You know who also is like that? Steve Albini. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I hate that guy. He's such an ass.
You know what? He's an ass, but he likes what he likes, and I appreciate that about him. Like, do you know who Steve Taylor is?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So he's this Christian musician artist. He collaborated with Danielson.
Okay. Of the Danielson family.
Of the Danielson family. And they had like a band called Steve Taylor and the is this right? Is it Steve Taylor and the Perfect Foil?
That sounds right.
Yeah, Steve Taylor and the Perfect Foil. And they were just this really weird kind of Christian group. Like the former lead.
That pretty much describes all of Steve Taylor's output.
Yeah, but like it was such a weird combination of people. It was like Danielson, Steve Taylor, and the drummer was Peter Furler from the Newsboys, who used to be in the Newsboys. And so it was just this strange group of people. And you know what? Their first EP, it rocked. It was good. It was weird. It was punk. And even Steve Albini said that. He's like, I hear thousands of things and this is really good. And I was like, you know what? Props to you for not getting hung up on like the weird made up ideas of genre that include like, oh, this is Christian rock and stuff like that.
I feel like you're throwing implied shade at Pitchfork.
No,
They are notorious for that bullshit.
Yeah, Pitchfork definitely magnified this, but you know, it was a pretty big thing where if there was a hint of you were involved in Christian music world, like your music was automatically lower tier
Yeah.
without good reasons. Like I will say Christian pop music, it's terrible. But I also think it's terrible for some of the same reasons that I think a lot of pop music is terrible. You know, kind of giving the Beyonce and worship music comparison there. But, you know, it was it was it was a pretty big cliche for a while that
Yeah.
you could just critique something off with oh, these people were on Tooth and Nail Records, they must be Christians, so you know,
Or Solid State.
or Solid State,
Yeah.
or they worked with Danielson, or you know, or whatever.
Or they have some tie to Sufjan. Or
Yeah,
yeah, it's criticism is a tricky bitch sometimes. Like especially in this day and age where it's all reactionary. There's no actual criticism involved. It's all just staking your claim and like making sure you don't have any common ground or compromise or any shit like that. Which I'm just as guilty. I'm not gonna say
sure.
I'm not. So um, yeah, I don't really know how we got on this, but
We definitely took a left turn at
well, I mean,
Beyonce
it
Street.
feels
Yeah,
fitting for talking about how to with John Wilson.
this is
We just went
true.
into a rabbit hole about how to do criticism.
How to make a podcast, Blake?
Um, so you said you want to talk about the documentary part of this.
I mean, I guess I'm okay talking about what we're talking about now, but
Well,
you
I don't
know,
think we need to spend the rest of the podcast talking about music and whether or not it's good or bad.
Blake, did you do the homework?
Uh, no, my dog ate my homework. No, I just completely spaced and forgot about it. But that was partly because I was trying to figure out my mic situation. Because anyone who listened to the last episode, which was part 3 of our McDonough Brothers series, so basically no one listened to it. The audio was not the best.
Yeah, people seem to hate the McDonough series, but you know what? We're one away. We're
We're
gonna
gonna do
fucking
this shit.
finish. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
we're doing it.
yeah. Fuck you guys.
You know what? Not fuck you to the listeners. Fuck you to the not listeners. How about that?
Yes.
Listeners, you're
I
great.
say fuck you to all of you.
Well, no one's listening, so that
Oh, I guess
by
that implies.
by default,
That's
yeah.
yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
It's
That's
a
clever. It's
yeah.
clever.
I thought so
Yeah,
too.
it's
I
good.
thought so.
Good. Yeah.
Um uh yeah. No, I think maybe the mic reason was part of that. So, you know,
Yeah.
things are
But I feel like
looking
that's
up.
been the case with the other episodes too.
Yeah, the McDonough series hit an interesting lull in our podcast. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not that I don't think we should get into analytics talk because that's just going to be a depressing depressing episode. You know, we're following the John Wilson trajectory of starting out hot, excited, getting into
Yep.
the topic, and then ending on something kind of depressing. No,
Yeah.
to bring it back, this paper that I said you should read for
And I completely did not read.
no, it's okay. It's actually interesting. So I don't know. Uh,
Give me the abstract version of it.
do you want me to read you the abstract?
No, I don't want
Uh,
you. I don't want you to read it to me. I want you to give me the abstract version of it.
I could send it to you.
No,
Is
no, I
that what
can
you
look
mean?
it up. I know. I just want you to give me your explanation of what
So
it's talking about.
you want me to write down my explanation, and the next time I see you, you want me to give that to you? I'm I'm just trying to understand, Blake.
No, no,
What do
no.
you want me to
I need
do?
you. I need you to speak your truth about this paper into your mic, where I can then hear it and understand
Oh,
what this paper is about. So
so
then I can communicate my own thoughts on said ideas discussed in the paper that you may or may not be accurately telling me about.
okay. So you bring up an interesting point about accuracy. um, anyway, I think the best way to start talking about this, we could just go off the cuff on how you feel, but the article is about how documentaries mark themselves out from fiction. So
Yeah.
this
Okay.
distinction between documentaries and fiction, and the article spends a lot of time kind of talking about the history of documentary, specifically the history of documentary a um, as a marker for truth and how we
Yeah.
feel about that. And you know, we all kind of accept fiction as made up and whatnot, and whatever that means. And so the question this paper kind of considers is, what's the difference between fiction and documentary, and what is the defining feature, what are the genre markers? And so I guess I want to throw that question to you. What do you
You
think,
want me
Blake?
to tell you what distinguishes documentary from fiction?
Yeah, for you.
Absolutely nothing.
As genre pieces though. So
Oh, as genre.
here's
So,
the
okay.
interesting thing. We all recognize a documentary, and we all recognize like a fiction thing. But
Hmm.
what are the defining, what's the core of what the genre documentary is?
I would say that all depends on the starting point.
Go on.
The starting point with a documentary is to make a statement, accurate or not, truthful or not, about a supposedly real event, real person, real thing, real idea, whatever you want to say. Like, you're basically uh, filming and creating an essay about something that has happened or will happen or is happening. And fiction, your point is basically to tell a story that is detached from quote unquote reality, and yet still illuminates elements or themes or qualities of reality.
Okay. Okay.
So the intent with documentaries is to tell a truthful story that's based in reality,
Mhm.
even though it's bullshit.
Well, I think
and
what
and you're starting out telling a fake, unreal story, and yet illuminating deep human truths through it, which is also bullshit, but both can be deeply interesting in interesting ways.
yeah, um
The
one of
moral of the story is all of it is bullshit.
all of it is bullshit.
Yes.
Um but what I thought one of the things that they talk about, or that the author John Ellis, another John,
That's a
who
good
would have
name, John
who would have
Ellis.
thought? Yeah, John Ellis. How to define a documentary with John Ellis. Um,
Yeah, I'd watch it.
yeah. Uh, would you read it though?
I didn't, so
Yeah,
no, I guess not.
I was gonna say you fucking didn't, you asshole. No. So, so one of the things in the paper that they kind of set up is that, at least for modern documentaries, so there was like a break, um, and the paper sets it up as a break after. Have you ever seen The Thin Blue Line? Errol Morris.
No, I saw Fog of War, which
That
I
one's
believe
all
was the one
also
later.
Errol Morris. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that one's good too. That one came out in like the early 2000s.
I
Thin
used
Blue
to be
Line.
anti documentaries. Period.
Oh, oh. We could get into that in a second. Um,
Okay.
I'm interested. I mean, I didn't really like documentaries because I thought they were weird. I couldn't really get on the
Yeah,
wavelength. But I guess in the '80s, Thin Blue Line really like set things apart, and they used to be mostly uh, kind of seen as observational, where it was showing, it was documenting. Um,
I feel
but
like I feel like original documentaries back before they became like a quote unquote genre
mhm.
were largely just filmed slice of life pieces.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure we can all kind of imagine where that would be ethically strange for some
Yes.
things that you might want to observe. and
Hmm.
and it talks about some of the early examples where, like, this film crew is watching their subject get brutalized,
Hmm.
and they don't step
It's like
in.
it's like that documentary about the Rolling Stones concert and the guy gets killed.
Oh yeah, I don't know
Uh,
this one.
oh man, I may have to look this up.
Ooh.
But like the part of the ethics of the movie is dealing with what does it mean to document the
Hmm.
death of a person, even if that's not why you're there, but it
Yeah.
happens, and so like, and yet you still choose to allow it to be a part of this document you're making.
Yeah, yeah. And so he talks about how, in the current documentary genre setup, it's based more on showcasing evidence for a specific thing rather than trying to be an observer. So you kind of make this case, and in particular, one of the markers of it is actually, is the filmmaker kind of a character in the film itself. And um and a lot of times documentaries are even dramatized as a filmmaker's quest for knowledge, it is a direct line from this. And I thought that was particularly um on point with John Wilson's whole setup. And
Yeah.
that's his whole thing, is a quest for knowledge. Every episode
Hmm.
is explicitly a quest for knowledge. in a very, very succinct way,
But
how to
but at
do
the same
this.
time, like, is it? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
because he takes so many rabbit holes that you're
yeah,
like, I don't actually think that's what he's trying to do. Uh, Part of me thinks that there's actually, like, yes, he's starting from like he's just from a subject matter stance. He's saying, I want to explore this,
yeah.
how to make the perfect risotto or how to remember my dreams. But whenever he gets into it, he's like, well, fuck, that's not all that interesting. Let's go on these different routes and see what we can find.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch enough of these, you start to kind of realize, like, okay, there's a bigger question, and I think one of the most clarified ones, actually. So he recently started the third season and final season, so he's finishing it up, which I actually think is a very commendable thing. Like, okay,
Yeah.
stop, you know, put a nice bow on it while it's still
Yeah.
fresh. Um, but there was an episode on how to find a bathroom in New York City and a public restroom, and he talks about how much of a struggle it is right now in New York to do that. But then it morphs into how modern, like, plumbing is kind of a taken for granted, and we all
Hmm.
have these expectations that everything is going to run. And then he starts interviewing people off the grid, and he starts, like, talking about people's fears that, like, an atomic bomb is going to happen and take everyone out. And then he finds these people who have bunkers. And
Hmm.
so it starts with public restrooms, and then turns into our fear of society collapsing around us and our fear
Yeah.
of all of the nice things that we use and being completely useless because I can't even relieve myself in public, like, and know how to take care of that basic necessity. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what to do when I poop and I'm not by a toilet. You know,
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know what the normal thing to do is. So he's always kind of and I have I have pooped in public before, or not public. Not public. When I was a kid, probably. When I
Oh,
had
I
it,
pooped in the pool one time when I was a
yeah.
kid.
Um, but I've pooped on runs before. That that
Oh
definitely has
yeah.
happened.
Yeah. I've gotten close a couple times.
Yeah.
It was a
No.
clinch fest.
This week, the park that I run in had the doors to the restroom locked, and I briefly considered pooping outside of them. So I didn't. I didn't. I I clenched and ran, and
That's
I
hilarious.
barely made it. But yeah, I think we all kind of would would be in the shit, so to speak, if those basics were taken away from us. So yeah, he always kind of morphs it into this kind of larger question with more depth than how to find a public restroom in New
Yeah.
York City.
No, and I think that's the upside to the show. Regardless of whether or not you can take his kind of personality and his vocal stylings and things like that, there's something truly fascinating about what he's trying to do in each episode, and I commend him for that. I think what he's doing is pretty fascinating. Maybe not as fascinating as Nathan Fielder, but I think they're of a similar piece. And to go back, "Gimme Shelter," 1970s "Gimme Shelter" is that documentary by the Maisels.
I should, yeah, I should watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So Blake,
No.
why were you no, I told you I was going to ask this. Why were you against documentaries?
Um, I'm not gonna say I was against documentaries. I just largely didn't watch them. I didn't grow up in a family that watched them, and I had no entry into that world, and so I took them in my head. You know how you like imagine food will taste that you've never tried before, and
Hmm.
you refuse it because you don't want that imagined flavor to be in your mouth, even if it's not actually true. Like, part of that's the same with documentaries. If you're not raised on them, or if you're not like exposed to them, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna be bored the whole time while people tell me a bunch of facts about shit. And I'm
I
like,
definitely
I don't want that.
I
That
definitely
sounds
understand.
stupid.
Yeah, I definitely understand that with documentaries. Like I said, it took me a while to kind of come around to that.
Yeah. You know what? You know
I
what documentary ended up closing that
was
chapter in
it
my life?
was it uh Cold Case?
No, no, it was before that.
Okay.
Funny enough,
I was
it
thinking that would
was
be too early or too late to.
yeah, too late. King of Kong,
Oh, yeah, that was a
which
good
is
one.
awesome. I remember I watched that around the same time as I watched The Bridge, which is really fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Have you seen
You
that
know,
one?
I haven't seen The Bridge. I remember it. I remember
Yeah.
reading about it. I have seen King of Kong, and I was going to say that would be a good movie for us to watch, except no one's forgotten about it because goddamn Billy Mitchell won't let anyone else forget about it. He just keeps showing up in the news and, you know, making a bigger ass of himself every
Yeah,
time. So,
dude's an ass. He's just a straight up ass.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah,
Uh,
that is such a fascinating documentary. So
If you
fun.
want to get really depressed though, watch Dear Zachary.
I I have almost pulled the trigger so many times to watch that movie cuz it's like
I wouldn't
on
do it. I wouldn't do it right now in the current state of your life. I would
the
not. I would not do that.
I've read enough about it to like know
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
it's
So,
rough. It's rough. I went into it knowing nothing, and I was freaking sobbing by the end of it
oh, oh man.
because I didn't know any. Like I didn't know how it was going to end. And whenever the final shoe drops, I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
I don't know about I don't know about all the twists and turns like the whole story. I just know a little bit about the setup and I know
Yeah,
it described as depressing and I
yeah,
take people's word for it.
yeah. I would stay away from it for a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I those are the three that kind of broke the floodgates open for documentaries as a thing that I could watch and engage with and enjoy. um, but as a historian, I saw through the bullshit. I was like, it's not any more truth than fiction is.
I
It's
mean
just about things that people recognize in the real world. That's
yeah.
You're still dealing with a lot of interpretive lenses and creative editing, and they're still telling a fictional story. They're getting at a point that they want you to get at
Mhm.
to come along with them. It's not. It's
Well,
not. It's
and
not.
we're not even getting into reality TV, which is
Oh
technically documentary, right?
yeah, it's documentary. That, but it's documentary in the same way that wrestling is sport. Like, in the sense that,
Yeah,
like, it's a
I like
wink.
that.
They're winking at you. They're saying, yeah, this is a documentary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's bullshit, but people watch it anyways because it's basically like soap operas. You get your drama, you get your fix, you watch your stories, as my grandmother used to say. Um,
But what's the biggest difference, I guess? Why would someone watch Survivor over General Hospital?
well, between those two, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um, but if you were gonna pick like Fog of War versus Zero Dark 30, I would say you're going to Fog of War because you want to get at someone else's perspective on a real thing, or at least a perspective on a real happening or a real thing. Um, Although that was an interesting choice that I made with Zero Dark 30 because it's based on real events, but
Hmm.
it's it's got the glaze of Hollywood dripping off of it. Um,
Well, you also have, you have actors playing these people,
yeah. So there's a detachment.
whereas
It's
in
almost like the proscenium of a theater.
yeah,
Like there's enough of a detached viewer film relationship, whereas documentaries try to break that down a little bit more.
well, yeah, in documentary, in Fog of War, you have, I forget his name, but it's basically this one guy talking with Errol Morris, and
Mm-hmm.
so the he's playing it up, and he's definitely reliving the glory days of his life, and telling it in that
Yeah.
you know golden shine sort of way.
Yep.
And Errol Morris is playing someone who's endlessly fascinated by all of this. So you have some acting, but at least the actors are the same people as the roles in this
Yeah.
case, which is kind of
So
interesting.
so another question that this brings up: what are our thoughts on dramatization? Because I feel like that almost attempts to bridge the chasm between documentary and film and fiction film.
Blake, if you're interested in that question, I've got a really cool paper you could read.
Fuck you.
No, John Ellis actually talks about that. I'm forgetting any of the points he makes specifically about that.
I'm thinking specifically of Unsolved Mysteries.
Well, in that case, actually, that's like flashing through. He makes a case where like um, he says something about how documentaries don't, they make these equivalencies, um, and um, like uh, the showing of a door like opening and someone walking through a door is like equivalent to that happening in the story, but you could
Mm-hmm.
film it at any point in time and it's not really the same thing, but we're okay with that. And a lot of times these reenactments are trying to do that, but sometimes they take liberties, right?
Yep.
A lot of times they do, and Unsolved Mysteries is a good example of that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Which, by the way, for anyone who's a big Unsolved Mysteries fan out there, like I was back in the day, the new version of the show on Netflix, pretty damn good.
Ooh,
Completely different, because it's only one story every episode, and there is no rubber stack host. It's all narrated, but good shit.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about it before because there's an episode that takes place in Chico. So
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember texting you about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Blake, I have a concern.
What's that?
Are we gonna be cut off at 2 hours?
Yes.
Okay. Every time
We have 21 minutes.
okay. Every time I left the room, it restarted my clock, so I have no idea where we were.
Yeah, we're at 21 minutes left.
Okay. This was another
Which
thing
really,
about
for our show, is perfect. I mean, you really couldn't get much of a better time limit. Now, if only they could double that per month and fix their shit, then we might use Zencastr more.
Yeah. We should send this to the CEOs of Zencastr.
Yeah, I think so. They would totally listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we're one of their
those
bigger
shitty
shows.
bands that send their demos to the big record labels and expecting them to listen to them, and you know what those fuckers did? They just threw in the trash.
Yeah.
But ours wouldn't even get that respect. Ours would just get thrown in a digital trash can.
We'd just be thrown on some cloud that no one would ever listen to. They would give it to Chat GPT to listen to. That's the worst
fate. Would be, yeah, it really is. I mean, let's be honest. Because that means all of our words are now in the computer, and they're using our words to answer other people's questions.
This is really the worst fate for everyone.
Writers, podcasters, musicians, doctors, lawyers,
historians,
plumbers,
electricians,
actors,
actresses.
I feel like we pretty much covered the full professional categories.
There aren't any more professions, right? Yeah. At least none that matter.
Yeah, definitely. And the king of those is plumber, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's got to fix the shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Or else society collapses.
Exactly. So Jamison, honestly, there is a world in which I'll watch more of these.
I wanted.
There's enough interest there to where I might watch some more. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna watch all of them.
All right.
But there's a world in which I'll watch more.
Well, you're off the hook. I didn't realize that I could have made you watch all of them, and you would have done that. Maybe I would have done that if I can go back. I would have suggested that you watch all of them. But you know,
it's a deal. I mean, with stuff like this, it'd be one thing if it was like 6 seasons of hour-long episodes, and there's 12 episodes in each season. Mm-hmm. That'd be one thing. Let's be honest. No one's got time for that, especially guys with kids.
Yeah,
can't pull that off. Not at least in a reasonable amount of time to do a podcast on it. But I mean, 6 hours.
Yeah. I mean, it's helpful. It's helpful that they're so short, too. Yeah. So each episode, and they feel meatier. I mean, I think that's maybe what I was worried about was you watch a couple of these. It doesn't feel like a binge show to me. Like you can, but
and I think that's part of the reason why I don't remember the Dream one as well, or at least it took longer because I watched them all in a row. And I think I probably should have spaced them out, watched one each night, because I think they deserve space and breathing room.
But that would have meant that that you were going home to John Wilson's voice being your.
I mean, if I know I'm getting myself into it, I can deal.
I
Like,
know.
I've watched Woody Allen movies before. I don't necessarily like them, but if I get myself in the mind state and prepared for them, they can be enjoyable.
There are a couple good ones out there, but yeah,
Yeah.
uh, I it's a thing, and
But you got to
you
do the
know,
prep work.
yeah. For those thinking that comparing someone to Woody Allen is not flattering, well, I apologize to John Wilson if that's somehow. Um,
Oh, if he thinks that that's a bad comparison, then I have lost a little bit of respect for him.
oh, I don't mean that. I
Because
just
I think
mean
that's a great comparison.
as
He should
far
be fucking proud of that comparison.
as far as delivery is concerned.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what these people are like in person. I don't know if John Wilson is a douchebag. I know that Woody Allen is, but you know,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
so
And we also don't know if Nathan Fielder is a douchebag.
who
I
knows?
like to believe he's not. I like to believe he's a very good and kind and nice man
In real life, he's
in real
very
life.
fun and not at all awkward. There's some
Yeah.
line from Nathan For You where he tries to sell himself. Uh, yeah, I don't like to meet my idols, I guess is the thing. So
Yeah.
I want them to live perfectly in my mind.
Yeah.
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 Except for Nick Cave, I would love to meet Nick Cave because
Oh, but I also feel like he's one of those people that has dealt effectively with his demons, people who have effectively dealt with their demons and come out on the other side like intact, uh, are pretty generally good people.
yeah, I think Nick Cave is a saint, and you're not gonna.
I would say so, and especially recently has been fascinating to read. So, with his
He's
very interesting turn towards more structured religious like practice.
sure, yeah,
Yeah,
no, and just delight in the world around him too.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
he, and just the care that he shows for his fans.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
he really exudes a lot of love. And if you're not familiar, I think Blake and I are alluding to his Red Hand Files website,
Mhm.
which is just such a gem. I honestly need to spend more time. I don't think I've read through all of them before. But I I've I've wanted to kind of make that like a project where I go through all of the letters and just read them all.
It really is a. It's a light in a pretty dark world.
Yeah. And
Like even
that's
before, like recently, like
yeah,
he's always been very like, and knowing some of the crap he's gone through in his life, and losing two sons and various other things, like to come out on the other side as hopeful as he has come out is pretty stunning.
it's amazing, honestly. It's
Yeah,
really yeah, it's really something. Anyway, uh sorry
but
we're
yes, I would want to meet him too.
our we'll put our boners back. Our
I
Nick
would
Cave
actually,
boners.
more than meet him. I would like to be in a room, like in a empty room with him and a piano, and just listen. Kind of like the
D-
live album that he did.
no, Pirate's Prayer. That's such a good
Yeah,
album.
yeah. The whatever the most recent live album he did, where it was just him and a piano in that space. Like they just set up recording the equipment and just let him go.
Yeah. No, I forget
Idiot's prayer. Idiot's prayer.
Idiot's Prayer. Idiot's Prayer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good,
So
so
good.
good.
So good. That was going to be my next guest. I was like, I don't think it's Pirate's Prayer, but I was looking for the name of it,
Yeah.
and I was gonna guess Idiot's Prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, I
putting
think
the boner
that
back.
that version of the Mercy Seat is probably my favorite version.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, it's documentaries. I like them.
Yeah. Cool. I just
And
yeah.
I even grudgingly like the show. I mean,
I mean, I hope that I've given you more uh more reasons why it's likable. Not necessarily why you need to like it or you need to put up with his voice. Look, there's so much shit to watch. It doesn't matter. But it found a special place in my heart, and I appreciate you
yeah.
taking the time to watch these episodes and talk with me about it too. I really do. So yeah, grudge all you need to. That's
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable, Blake.
Owen Ignatius Cornell Collier or Fenton Cornell Collier. So, anyways, going back to the the question at hand, um,
I don't
I
remember the
don't,
question. Oh,
I don't think that I'm excited to read this paper if I actually ever get it read. I'm excited to read this paper because I currently am in a state where I don't see a drastic difference, like between the two. And so I'm curious to see if he pulls out any actual like thing that might convince me otherwise.
and maybe he doesn't do it. I actually like I had to like go back through it to try to find some of the details where he tries to kind of set it up as, genre wise this is what's different. But I actually think he would agree with you that not there's not really a truth marker, even though that's like kind of a thing that we bring to documentaries.
Jamison for the third time has
Oh
frozen.
my god, I can't believe this is
He's
happening again.
freezing. He's freezing, guys. It's so cold in there in that little box. That little black box that he's in. Will he come back? Will he join us once again? We'll find out.
I'm back.
Oh, he's back.
I cannot believe this shit. I
We'll never use Zencastr again.
I know, I know. Oh man. Oh man. I mean, I was talking. I think it was actually recording me, but
Oh
then
yeah.
you started saying how I was frozen, so I
Yep.
started over. Um I forget where I was at. I was gonna say I think John Ellis would actually agree with you for the most part. He spends a lot of
Mhm.
time basically saying that documentary and fiction aren't really that different, at least not from a truth
Yeah.
perspective, which
But
is
from a
usually.
genre perspective, he would say that there's a difference.
But that's what he tries to do is he tries to pick apart certain genre aspects. But
Gotcha.
yeah, so
Okay.
yeah,
I can deal with that.
I think you dig it. Yeah. Anyway, do you have any other thoughts, Blake?
Uh, no. I guess my parting thoughts would be: don't worry about making the perfect anything. Just fucking do it and share it with people.
Yeah. I mean, we've cracked how to make the perfect podcast, right?
Field recording
Field recording. Yeah.
of two
Use
people talking.
Zencastr is definitely up there in the directions.
Man, field recording. Yeah, that's if you want true field recording equipment, go with Zencastr.
Yeah.
I may just send this to them, knowing full well that they're not going to listen to it. I think it'd be awesome.
uh Blake, you do you for sure.
Okay. I will do me. I'll do me
All right.
real good.
All right, Blake. Well, it was good talking to you.
It's good
I
talking to
guess
you.
I'll see you on the flippity flip.
You mean the the
I don't
flippity
know what
flip?
I
What?
don't know what I don't know what I mean.
Who who are you?
I don't know. I am 10 hours of work, 2 hours of
You
podcast into my day.
I feel like you've morphed into a dad all of a sudden.
All of a sudden,
Yes. There
it's
comes a
been
point in every man's life. It's everyone says it's right when the first kid is born. That's not true. You're still you. But somewhere along the way, during that kid's growth, it happens. There's a switch.
we are getting to the point where Hazel has spent more time outside of Kira's womb than inside of Kira's womb. So
Oh man, that's a special time.
yeah, it's an
Uh,
interesting flip.
so in the remaining 5 minutes, I think you should share your newest tattoo with people.
Uh oh yeah, because people are watching this podcast, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No,
Um
I think you need to give the abstract
I'll give
of
the
your new tattoo.
I'll give the abstract. So I don't know if
Make it
people
as
are
abstracted as possible.
oh yeah. I don't know if people are familiar with the comic Tintin. It's a
Or the
classic,
or the cartoon.
or the cartoon. Yeah, it's a classic that Steven Spielberg eventually made into a movie.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
I've never seen it. I don't know if it's good or bad.
It's
Uh,
Spielberg. It can't be good.
that's not true. There's at least one Spielberg movie that I'm gonna make you watch eventually. So
Jaws, because I love that movie.
it's an after Jaws movie. Shudder, shudder, Blake.
Oh,
Um,
it's
no,
probably gonna be
so
AI. Let's be honest.
yep. I love that movie. We'll we'll cover it sometime.
Okay.
Um, so the where was I? So the comic Tintin. Um, he's a crudely drawn comic book character, so
Mhm.
it's very simple, not very many details. So he kind of looks like a baby a little bit. Turns out he doesn't look like just any baby. He looks like my baby. So Hazel, who I've talked about, is has a celebrity doppelganger already, and it is Tintin, the comic book character. And Tintin is known for having a dog named Snowy? Question mark. I don't know if I'm getting that right,
I think that's
but
right. That
yeah,
sounds
I think
right.
that's right. That's a little like Scottish Terrier
Yeah.
esque dog, and so there are various panels because it's a comic of Tintin and Scotty kind of running and being together. And I was like, oh, it'd be cool to get a Tintin tattoo and have it be kind of an ode to Hazel, but instead of having Snowy, use one of my cats, and so we used William Blake instead of Snowy. So my sister, who's a tattoo artist in town, uh, drew up a scene of Tintin, who looks maybe a little more like a baby, has a few extra hazily things to him, and a black cat. They're kind
That's
of running
awesome.
together, and
Yep.
so it's Hazel and William Blake as Tintin and
Beautiful.
Snowy. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautifully done. Okay. I'll see you later.
All right. Bye.